Is the Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou exhibition a good idea? Fellas, fans listening to the show, this is announced. It's going down. Tyson Fury, Francis Ngannou. What are we thinking? Is it a good idea? I'm going to start off with you, Dino, because you're a big Tyson Fury fan here. So the mic is yours to kick us off.
It's not an exhibition. They're actually fighting like a legit ranked fight.
Yeah, true.
It came
I
out as not
consider
an
it an
exhibition.
exhibition,
I
but
don't I don't know if the belt is on the line. It's not, right?
nah, I don't believe so.
Yeah, it's not the belt's not on the line, but it is like a ranked fight. So they are gonna actually like box and it's gonna be legit. It's not an exhibition. In an overall scheme, it's not a good idea. In the big picture, it's not a good idea, strictly because we had all this talk about the Saudi Arabia, Wilder, Joshua, Fury, Usyk, same night, same card. All this. I knew that bullshit wasn't going to happen. Let's just stop it right now. I knew that wasn't going to happen. Like, that is literally a pipe dream too good to be true. It was not going to happen. However, I thought them fighting on separate cards, separate locations in the same month could have happened. I thought, like, okay, like I could see early December, you got Fury Usyk, and then afterwards you got Wilder Joshua, maybe in some neutral country, not the US or UK, right? So I'm thinking that's gonna happen. Like, okay, like this has potential, but then you start seeing everything get dragged out and dragged out and dragged out with everybody. Wilder starts calling out Ruiz, and now AJ's fighting someone else, right? Like AJ has a fight against who's he fighting?
Dillian Wright too.
It's not exciting. I'm not tuned into that. Not watching that. And then you got Fury fighting Ngannou now, which I think out of the three, you have Usyk Dubois, right? Usyk Dubois. Yeah, okay, I'll probably tune into that. That should be pretty entertaining. You got Wilder or Joshua White, and then you're probably gonna get Wilder Ruiz. So out of all these things happening, maybe. If you have all these things happening, I think Fury and Ngannou is actually the most entertaining considering how things have unfolded. I'm not going to watch Joshua White. Maybe I'll watch Usyk Dubois. I don't really know if I want to because I feel like I know what's going to happen. And then like I would watch Wilder Ruiz if that got made. I think Wilder would finish him quick in like third or fourth round, but I would still watch it because I'd still be entertained because I like Wilder. It's entertaining. He's entertaining. But I think for right now, considering how the events unfolded, I think Fury and Ngannou is actually a good idea because right now, who else is Fury really going to go out and fight? I don't want to see Fury fight Ruiz. I don't want to see Fury really fight anyone else in the heavyweight division besides Usyk or Joshua. And I think since those fights aren't being made right now, I think Ngannou actually will be an entertaining fight. It'll be interesting to see Ngannou get in the boxing ring. I think Fury will beat him. But it'll be interesting to see how Ngannou does. And Ngannou has a name. He's former UFC heavyweight champion of the world. He originally fought Miocic, got washed by Miocic, lost to Derek Lewis in one of the most boring fights I've ever seen in my life. And then he came back, revived his career, beat Miocic, beat Sorogan, some pretty entertaining fights, ended up getting the belt, and then he made a name for himself. So based off of names, I think, and just what we're going to see in another crossover mega fight, I think this is a good idea. However, in the grand scheme of things, given how everything was supposed to unfold, I don't think it's a good idea. But for the current times, I guess it's fine.
I mean, look, man, I would like to jump in here. I mean, Dino, you did make a valid point when you said that the heavyweight division, I'm just putting everything in context. The heavyweight division is not really moving, right? We see the boxing world. There's a lot of optimism in boxing, but the heavyweight is not catching on to the changes that we are seeing with fighters actually fighting. It's kind of being held back. But who is holding back the heavyweight division? Because clearly somebody is, because nobody's fighting. So what is the fight that we want to see? Usyk, Fury. So who is holding up the heavyweight division? Because clearly that fight ain't happening. Fury is. So it's a bad idea because he's holding up the division.
I get that, but what about Wilder Usyk?
Wilder and Usyk is fine, but we wanted
that.
to see Fury and Usyk.
No, you're right.
That was for the belts. That was for all the marbles. Biggest fight in boxing. So that's what's holding up the sport. Now I understand when you look at everything from a now perspective, right? The boys, Usyk, Dillian White, Anthony Joshua, and Francis Ngannou, Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou is arguably the more intriguing fight. I don't think it's gonna be close, but it's more intriguing because of the name brands, right? Dillian White, he's washed up. He's a washed up dog. Okay, this guy got knocked out with an uppercut, the same way he got knocked out by Anthony Joshua the first fight. He got knocked out by Tyson Fury and daggone Alexander Povetkin that looked like he could have retired in a nursing home. Okay, I don't know what the hell I just said, but I said it. Okay, so clearly he's washed up. He probably should have lost to Jermaine Franklin. Okay, and Anthony Joshua, I won't say barely, but it was so mediocre that it was like, oh my gosh, like really, you can't knock out Jermaine Johnson or Franklin, whatever his name is. So yeah, that fight is ugly. So I get the intrigue because of the names, but let's be real. This fight is made for one reason and one reason only: cash. It's a cash grab. When you look
Oh, for
at Francis
sure.
Ngannou, he is making the most money in this fight that he has ever made in his UFC career. The financial incentive to make this fight. So, from a fan perspective, we are not watching fights based on who's making money or not. We are watching fights to enjoy a back and forth brawl that results in a knockout. We talking heavyweight division. We talking about knockout. And yeah, we might get a knockout, but it might not be a close knockout. Okay, it might be like, yo, what the hell is this cat doing here? And the problem is, I'm not mad at Francis for wanting to cash out. I would do the same. Boxing is making so much more money than the UFC. I would do the same. But it's about who you're fighting in your first fight in boxing. We have to remember that Tyson Fury is the number one heavyweight in the world. And I understand that I like Usyk, and if Usyk and Fury fought, I can see that fight going either way. But as it stands today, right now, until we see that fight, Fury is the number one heavyweight in the world. He presents a size disadvantage. He presents so much disadvantages to an opposition beyond his skills. But when you use his physical attributes along with his skills and you add them up, he's a tough fighter to even hit. Okay, what Francis Ngannou is like 6'4", 6'3", and Tyson Fury is 6'9". So clearly there's a size differential right here. And obviously there's going to be a skill because he's literally like he just beat Wilder. You know what I'm saying? So from Tyson Fury perspective, yeah, you're making a lot of money. What's the incentive? And I think for me, it goes back to my point that Tyson Fury head is not in boxing no more, right? He really feels, and maybe he's not ducking Usyk. Maybe he is. Maybe he's not. Maybe he feels that he's so much bigger than Usyk that he's going to demolish him. And it's like, listen, is this the mountaintop? When I just beat the hardest hitter 3 times in the heavyweight division, probably of all time, like, is this higher than that? So maybe the motivation is to do this foolishness, but it's not going to do anything for his legacy. Francis, unless he wins, which is clearly not going to happen, I'll be shocked if he wins. It's probably not going to do nothing for his, and so it's pointless. Bad idea to me.
I agree. Real quick, Zay. I agree with the second part where it's like that's where I think Fury's head is. It's not that I don't think he's ducking Usyk because I think Fury will splatter Usyk. No disrespect to the guy, but I think Fury splatters him. And I think that after being Wilder twice, arguably 3 times, but twice, it's like this, like being unified, yeah, but like for this, it's like for a guy who's like 6'2", like he's like 7 inches, 8 inches shorter than me. And I think that that's where Fury's head is at, where he's like, all right, well, if I fight Ngannou, another lethal finisher who knocks people out in one hit, you see him in the UFC swinging, and then he just knocks people out. Yeah, it's a draw, and it's a money draw. So I think Fury's looking at it in that aspect, and I agree with you on the second part, where it's like, I just don't know if he's as motivated to fight Usyk because it's like, it's like you said, is this it? You know?
Zay?
Oh man, listen. I think it's phrased correctly. This is an exhibition, not because of what's ranked, what's not ranked. It's because it's going to be a Tyson Fury, Francis Ngannou punch off. Fury's just going to be throwing jabs at this man all day. Fury and Francis doesn't know what he's getting into. He just thinks boxing is about power. No, it's much more than that, and he's going to realize why when he fights Tyson Fury, arguably one of the best punchers we've ever seen. The way his ability to throw the punch is just ridiculous at his height, at his speed, his elusiveness in the ring. The man is dancing, he's prancing. Why don't you in this ring? I think it's a good idea for different reasons. I think it shows Francis Ngannou where he belongs, which is the UFC, the mixed martial arts, boxing. It shows that Tyson Fury needs to fight more boxers around. He needs to go after the Anthony Joshua's or whatever, or retire. Like, if there's nobody out there that impresses you, nobody out there that you feel like you don't want to fight Usyk, you feel like you're whatever pay periods above him, whatever you feel like, it's those are the guys you have to fight within your realm of what you know. And I just believe that this fight will show that. It will show that these two guys just need to fight the boxers and the mixed martial artists around them to in their respective sports. I think a lot of people think you could combine boxing and mixed martial artists. You can't. They're two different realms, two different ideas of fighting, and it's just you've been training two different ways your entire life. They didn't like, yeah, I'm just gonna put all these different things down and start throwing punches and start being able to wrap around a ring for 12 rounds. It's not going to go the way you think it's going to go. But mixed martial artists train for at max 25 minutes. Boxing goes on for 36. So it's like, no matter how you see it, how you splice it, it goes on for way longer than what you're accustomed to in that ring. And it's a different fit. It's a different way. It's the adrenaline's a little bit different. And it's for a lot longer times. Sometimes in your mind, psychologically, all you hear is a bell 5 times in mixed martial arts. When you hear that for the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 9th round, you're like, damn, I'm a little tired. I'm a little mentally fatigued. I don't know if I can do this. And I think that's what's going to happen to Francis Ngannou. I think Tyson Fury he knows the game already. And you're fighting in his backyard. It's just not smart, in my opinion. I know the money's there. So, you make the most money you ever made in your career and that you ever fought. So I see that being a reason. Of course, I just think from an optics perspective, I don't really want to see it. I already know what's going to happen. Tyson Fury is going to take him out of there, and it's going to be that's it. If Francis Ngannou somehow, some way knocks out Tyson Fury, I'll be impressed. I'll be absolutely.
Yeah, I mean that would be a big behind stain on Fury's legacy if he gets knocked out. I mean, like, come on, like that would literally trump everything he did and accomplished the last couple of years. I mean, you lose to a UFC fighter. Think about the perception that it is in the world that UFC fighters generally do not have success against boxers, and clearly we have a substantial amount of evidence that proves that, right? With Conor McGregor, Mayweather, I mean, even going back in the day, I believe Muhammad Ali
Jake Paul beating Tyron Woodley,
and as soon as he fought a boxer, he lost. And Tommy Fury, So my thing here is that yes, I understand the financial incentives here, but Francis could have gone a different route. He could have waited for AJ, to fight Wilder in December and made that fight happen in the summertime where it's Rumble in the Jungle, the anniversary, right? He could have fought Deontay Wilder. And I understand Deontay Wilder probably would have knocked him spark out, spatter him. But Wilder don't have the skills that a regular boxer has. Like, no shots at Wilder. He's my favorite. I mean, that's my guy, my American fighter. He has power. He'll knock you out, but he don't have the skills to bear him out. So that fight to me is a little bit more intriguing because it's two heavy hitters. Who lands the punch first and who knocks who out? With Tyson Fury's like, he's probably not even going to get to touch Tyson Fury. Look at that fight, the last fight. No, excuse me, 2 fights ago, as far as Fury, when he fought Dillian White. Dillian White couldn't even touch the dude. My guy was just throwing, he couldn't even land. Like, the size difference was crazy. And Fury's movement was crazy. Like, watch that fight. Dillian White barely landed anything. I don't even know if he landed anything substantial in that whole entire fight, bro. I'm not even lying. I'm not even capping or exaggerating. Like, the size difference was glaring. We might see the same thing here. So, yes, I get it. Cash grab, yes. But he could have ran another route. Like, what if you fought AJ and beat AJ? Now you have a chance to carve out another paycheck for you. Because if Tyson Fury beats the hell out of you, what, you think you're going to come back in boxing and get a Wilder and get an AJ and make more money and double that? Nah. Manage his career. He never fought in boxing. Bad idea. I'm done. That's my take.
I smile while talking about boxing because it was not too long ago I was telling Lil on the show that boxing was dying. And it was not too long ago I was saying UFC is coming out with all these cards. Where are the boxing cards?
Yep,
and I'm
I remember.
at a point that boxing is just exploding with just so much content, so much great fights. And man, it is an exciting time. But before all that, please like and subscribe to the channel. We are working hard, and
Yes, we
a
are.
lot of this show, all thanks to Lil, all thanks to Dino, all thanks to Zach, Coach, Freddie Systems. There's so much more that joined the show. Please like and subscribe. It is only going to get better from here on out.
I mean, you heard the guy. He saved my job. I don't gotta worry about it. So, fellas, it was a good time being on this show talking boxing for an hour and a half. And I'm looking forward to doing this again next week, Sunday. Big fight happening. Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford. I'm looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to being back here, okay, next Sunday to talk about who is the baddest man on the planet.
Absolutely. Please like and subscribe for all the up-to-date content. You've been slinging shows left and right, slinging content left and right. Please don't miss anything. If you do, like, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a question, something you may want to answer, something you may have. All ideas are great ideas. Nothing's a dumb question.